Hey, what's up guys? This is Ian and welcome to another one of my videos. Alright, today I'm going to review this brand new Xiaomi POCO X3 NFC phone. And this phone has just been launched a few days ago. And this is the retail unit which I bought with my own money. And I'm in no way related or affiliated with Xiaomi. And this is my honest and truest opinion about this phone. Right, so what I'm going to do is that I'm going to do a very quick unboxing, and then I'm going to go through the specs of this phone, and then set it up, play around with it for a few days, take some videos, take some photos, and show you guys the photos and the videos, and then I'll give you my final thoughts about this phone. Right? But before I do that, I hope you guys can consider to subscribe to my channel, and hopefully you can give this video a thumbs up. Alright, so let's get right into it. Right, so on the box on the outside, you see the POCO branding here and the X3 NFC. And then on the side, you see POCO X3 NFC with ease access to the Google apps you use most. I don't really understand what that means, but yeah. And the version I got is the 128 gigs of ROM storage. Okay, it comes in two different variants. One is the 64 gigs and this 128 gigs. Okay, so let's open this bad boy up. Right, and I like to keep the box intact. Let's put it one side, then okay, negative air inside, so yeah. Okay, so after opening the box, you've got this pouch here. Let's open this pouch up, and here you get the SIM ejector tool, and inside here you get some user guide, okay, and the warranty card. Then it comes with a free case. So this is what I like about this type of mid-range phones. It comes with, usually comes with a free case. This is a jelly case, and it's quite mist. It's not a clear case, alright, it's quite cloudy, right? But it's quite thick, right? It's quite thick to the touch. Okay, so this is the phone itself. So let's take the phone out. Let's put the phone one side first while I open up the rest of the stuff. So nothing here. So inside the box you get this fast charging brick, and this is the 33 watt fast charger brick. Let me see, it doesn't say here. Yeah, somewhere there. Okay, so that's it. And then it comes to the cable. So you have the USB-A to the USB-C. Okay, so, and if you look at the inside, it's a bit orangey red, and on the inside of this is orangey red as well, so that you can identify that this cable belongs to your POCO phone, and this brick, this charging brick, belongs to this cable, right? And so that's it for the stuff inside. Let's open up this phone. Okay, pretty simple. Alright, right? And then let's take the sticker out. Right. So I've seen some reviews of this phone, so I kind of know a bit of the specs of this phone. So let's just go through the specs of this phone. So basically, this phone is IPS display. It's not OLED, right? So it's an LCD display with 16 million colors, right? And the size of this screen is 6.6 inch, and yeah, it's got a resolution of 1080 by 2400 pixels, okay, and it's Gorilla Glass, right? And Gorilla Glass 5, and yeah, and the good thing about this phone is that it has got a 120 hertz refresh rate, and that's the selling point about this phone. Let's just power this up. All right, and on the back you have the plastic back, but one thing, when I feel it, it doesn't feel that it's plastic. It feels well, when you tap on it, you can feel that it's plastic, but you know, when you look at it, it feels premium. It's got this very glassy look, right? And it's got this POCO branding here on the. It's got some holographic look to it. If you look carefully with the light, there you go. It's holographic. And then of course at the back here you get the camera modules here. In total there are 4 cameras with a sensor, okay. And then I don't know what I did here, but this is the startup screen. Let's just turn it off first, okay. And then on the side you have your fingerprint sensor and power button as well, okay. I just turn it on, and then you got your volume rocker here, okay. And on the top here you have your IR blaster, you have your microphone, and I think this is a speaker, right? So this hole here is a speaker, okay. And then this is your microphone, and this is the IR blaster, okay. And then on the side you've got your SIM tray, and this SIM tray can act as an expandable memory up to, I think it's 64 gigs, or you could put a secondary SIM card into the empty slot. So you can act as a dual SIM tray, or expandable memory SIM tray card kind of thing. And then at the bottom here you have your 3.5mm headphone jack, which I like. It's been many years since I had any phone with a headphone jack, and finally I have this headphone jack, right? And then you got your USB-C port here. Next to it you have the let me see, the microphone, and of course the down facing firing speakers, right? So you have the speaker on top here, and you have the speaker on top here, and of course you have the speaker at the back, at the bottom. So it's stereo, so it's good to have. All my previous phones, the speakers are all bottom firing speakers, okay. So and this is the first phone that comes with the brand new Snapdragon 732G processor, right? And it's brand new, so it's not tested anywhere else. So this is the first phone that comes with that. It's got a quad-core chip, a CPU, and it's got a 614 Adreno GPU, which is a graphic processor, okay. Yeah, so, and also this is 128 megapixel model. It's got the 64 gigabyte, sorry, 128GB model, and it's got a 64GB model as well. Yeah, this phone comes with 4 cameras. Alright, so the main camera is actually a 64 megapixel camera, and this is a wide angle camera, as you can see here. And then you've got 30 megapixels of ultra wide, and then you have a micro camera sensor, which is only 2 megapixels. And then you got a flasher, and then you got a depth sensor of, I don't know what specs, okay, but it's a depth sensor, okay. And it's got dual LED flash, okay, and yeah, it can shoot HDR, and you can shoot panorama, okay. Right, so and then on the front here you have one dot shape 20 megapixel camera, a sensor in front here, right? So this camera can shoot 20 megapixels, and the video of 1080p at 30 frames per second. Oh, I forgot to mention about the videos of the main camera. So the main camera can shoot videos of 4K at 30 frames per second, right? So, and it comes the standard Wi-Fi, Bluetooth, GPS, and of course NFC. So if you are the kind of person who uses your phone to make contactless payment, this phone will have the NFC that will enable that. The phone, ergonomically, the phone feels great on the hand, right? And the power button is right where my left hand my left index finger will be holding, will be resting on, and yeah, so that's where the sensor will be. The only downside about having the side sensor is that if I'm holding my phone on my right hand, then I'll use my sensor with my thumb, I guess. Well, that depends on the individual, okay. So yeah, so it's got the side fingerprint sensor here. So on the inside, this phone comes with a 5100 milliamp battery, and it charges up from 0 to 100 within an hour. Okay, I've not tested this, but I'm gonna test this out. All right, and yeah, so basically this phone comes in 2 different colors: the gray, which is the one I have. They call it the shadow gray, and it comes with the cobalt blue. All right, and it comes in 2 colors, right? And the price for this phone, I got this phone at $350. All right, this is in Singapore dollars. If you convert that to US dollars, it's about $299. Yeah, around there. Okay, so yeah, so that's it for the specs of this phone. So I'm gonna set this phone up, and then I'm gonna play around with it, and then I'm gonna come back with some photos and my honest opinion about this phone. I'll be right back. Okay guys, I'm back, and I've set up my phone. I have played around with it, and I've taken some pictures, some some videos, and I'm back here to give you my full and honest opinion about this phone. Alright, now coming from a flagship phone, I don't like this phone. Alright, and bear in mind, I was using a flagship phone, and this phone is a budget phone. Alright, so it may be different for you guys, but for me, I don't like this phone. Alright, so let me just give you the cons of this phone, and then I'll just give you some pros. Alright, so the first con I don't like about this phone is the screen. Now, the screen, let me just turn it on. The screen, it may have this 120 Hertz refresh rate, but it's LCD. Alright, the screen is not as bright as an OLED screen, and it's not as how to say, the colors are not as brilliant as an OLED phone. Alright, and now if you look closely, this camera notch here, right, the selfie notch, has got ghosting around it. Okay, not sure if you guys can see, but there's ghosting going around that notch, and that really gets into me. I look at this phone every day, the whole day, and I keep looking at this notch here, and that really gets into me, right? So that notch, because of the LCD display panel, and that, you know, I really don't like that. Now the next thing I don't like about this phone is the fingerprint sensor. It's on the side. In my previous phone, it was the inbuilt fingerprint sensor in the screen, and on this budget phone is on the side. Now just watch. If I have an unregistered finger touching it, oh sorry, that's a registered finger. Let's get an unregistered finger to touch it, right? And you will get too many unsuccessful attempts. Enter password now or try using a fingerprint in a few seconds. Now, through the day, I will hold my phone and I will accidentally touch this fingerprint sensor because it's just on the side, it's on the edge of the phone, so I will definitely accidentally touch it, and I will get this kind of notification. And when I actually want to use my phone, it will not, well, this one allowed me because I waited a few seconds, but there was some situation where where it showed me this notification, and then when I try to unlock it, it doesn't allow me to unlock, and I had to wait a few seconds, or I'll need to enter my password, which is a bummer. Okay, yeah, so that's the next thing I don't like about, which is the fingerprint sensor on the side. And now you see, when I try to unlock it, it wouldn't allow me to unlock. Let me turn it on again. No, that doesn't work, so I have to key in my password. Oh, well, there you go. Now, the next thing I don't like about this phone is the processor itself. In fact, the RAM, the whole thing. All right, it's sluggish. Right, it's compared to a flagship phone. This phone is sluggish. Right, let me just play a video. This video is a huge video. Right, so let me just turn down the volume so that you guys, I don't get. Right, so this is a huge video. Right, it's playing, and when I try to get out from here, sorry, look at that. See, my phone hanged. It hanged. It's not moving. Right, so it's sluggish. Right, it cannot handle large files. Small files is fine, but this file here is huge. Right, so this is 540 megabytes. Okay, so it's sluggish, and every single time I will need to come to the cleaner and I'll need to clear my RAM so that I get back the speed of this phone. So this is a budget phone, I understand, and it's just not for me because I do a lot of my videos on my phone and I cannot do it on a budget phone. Alright, that's just me. Alright, it may be different for you guys, or whoever you guys are watching. You may be using your phone for other purposes, but for me, I'm doing all my videos on this phone, and it's just not enough RAM. Right, the RAM is just not fast enough. I keep getting bottleneck for the RAM, and you know, my phone hangs. Now, next thing, since I'm at the file, let's just go to the camera. All right, let's talk about the camera. The images that I get pretty clear. This is a portrait photo, so and I'm taking a portrait photo of a plant, so obviously You see some, you know, edges here which is not really captured. The AI, I guess, is not good enough. The photo, I wouldn't say is clear. It's subpar. Okay, it's not the best. Let's go to the next photo. This is a macro shot. My hand was shaking, and this is the result of it. It's not the best as well. This one is pretty good, but again, it's not that clear. It's the 2 megapixel macro camera, so don't expect too much from it. So this photo here is 64 megapixel from the main camera, so it's pretty okay. The colors are quite pretty okay. It's not that accurate, yeah, but mostly green, so yeah, not much of the other colors. So this is a ×2 zoom, right? So it's pretty okay. It's not that sharp, but good enough for me, you know, for my videos, or you know, for any still shots. So this is the normal wide angle camera setting. It's not 64, but it's actually the main camera, the main sensor, but at a wide angle. So yeah, so this shot here, not that sharp, but it's passable for me. That's me with the portrait front-facing camera. Let's see, videos. So let's look at some videos which I took. Right, so this is just the normal video with the main sensor. The footage is quite stable. The image is pretty okay. Let's take a look at the next one. Next one is the wide angle sensor. It's not as sharp as the main sensor, but you know, the video is pretty wide compared to the main sensor. Okay, and then this one is the zoomed in sensor. I think it's the zoom lens. Okay, pretty sharp. And this one is the steady shot. Okay, so this phone has got this function of a steady shot, but actually, you know, it crops in, and then basically the video is not as sharp. As you can see, it's not as sharp as the previous videos. This is a macro video, a video of a macro shot, so it's not that great. As you can see, the resolution is not that good. Okay, so that's for the videos and photos. If you're using this phone as your main shooter, I would suggest to avoid this phone, because you're not gonna get great photos or videos from this phone. And the thing about this phone is that you do not get 60 frames per second for videos. The most you get is at 4K, you get 30 frames per second, and that's it. If you want 60 frames per second, you will need to bump it down to 1080p, right? I mean, nowadays most of the videos in YouTube are 4K, and you know, who wants to shoot at 1080p? But still, I do recognize that some people shoot at 1080p, but for me, most of the time, I will shoot at 4K. But unfortunately, I cannot slow my video down because I'm shooting at 30 frames per second. Okay? Yeah, so that's for the camera. I've touched on the Touch ID, the fingerprint sensor, the camera, and what else? Okay, so that's about it, which I don't like about the phone. The main thing is about the sluggishness of this phone. I do understand it's a budget phone, but it's sluggish. I've just got to live with it. Now let's talk about the pros. Alright? Pros. Headphone jack. I really miss this, and it's really convenient. I can just plug in my headphones anytime I want. I don't need to wait for my Bluetooth to start up, and to pair, to connect. I don't lose connection, I don't lose battery. I can listen to as long as the phone has got battery, Yeah, I like this. Next is the expandable memory. I do have a 128 gigabyte SD card in here, and you can expand it to your heart's content. Alright, so you're not limited to the internal memory storage. You can expand the memory, and that's what I like about this phone. Okay, and next thing is the sound. I think the speakers are really great. Just have a listen. Turn up how you can modify this original G-Shock into this metal case. This is the gold metal case. Okay, so the sound is very good. I like the sound, I like the speakers, and the fact that it has got two speakers, one at bottom firing speakers, and there's a speaker on top here, and you get stereo. So that's what I like about this phone. Okay, but other than that, I wouldn't get this phone. Alright, but I do have it, so I'm just gonna live with it. But it may be different for you guys. You guys may be using this phone for different purposes. You have different lifestyle. This will not apply to everyone. So I hope you guys take my video with a pinch of salt. Alright, and don't take it 100%. Okay. Alright, so that's it for this video. I hope you guys can give me a thumbs up for this video and subscribe to my channel. And I'll see you again in my next video. Cheers.